Welcome to Overcome. I'm Christine Faraci, and I am always so touched that so many of you are willing to come on my show to help others face challenges and overcome them like you have. You know, you may not be facing the challenges that my guests face, but the keys to managing, surviving, and thriving through life's difficulties remain pretty constant. Maneuvering troubled waters, I gotta be honest with you, it begins within yourself. I know some days that's more than what you want to hear. Believe me, I know. Breast cancer a couple of times is not the only challenge I've weathered. But the fact that we don't want to hear it some days doesn't make it not true. And that's why my guests and I are here, to help you overcome. Today's guest, Dr. Dick Snyder, is a 6-year survivor of stage 4 neck cancer. I'd never even heard of neck cancer before meeting Dick, yet oral head and neck cancers comprise 3 to 5% of all cancers in the United States. It's been felt to be most common in men over the age of 50, yet the incidences of it in women and younger people are on the rise. Even though they are not that common, there will probably be 40,000 people with this cancer this year, and this cancer has lifelong effects for most. Dr. Snyder graduated from Ohio State Medical School in 1971, and he practiced internal medicine for over 34 years. Not only does he sit on 2 hospital community boards, but he also started and facilitates not just 2, but 3 support groups for people who have oral head or neck cancers. He has such a sincere desire to help others that in 2010 he won the Edgar J. Hernandez Humanitarian Award given by the Desert Cancer Foundation of Arizona to recognize his efforts. Seriously, Dick is so sincere that due to numerous technical difficulties on my part, this is actually his 3rd time to tape this show. The 3rd time is a charm. Hi, Dick. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
So, I had a hard time finding the place?
No, I know it very well.
It's only been a few tries. It's like old home week now, isn't it? We're like family.
Listen.
So anyways, so could you please tell our audience what head and neck cancer is?
Head and neck cancer has to do with certain cancers that involve parts of the head and neck area, but not all of them. Starting from the top to the bottom, the ones you think about that show up are in the nasal region, that's the nose, and the post-nasal region, and the sinuses. Down in the mouth area, you have the tongue. There are actually 2 major portions. One's the front part, which has to do with the tongue's talking, and the back part has to do more with the swallowing.
So are there any symptoms that we can watch for?
It will oftentimes depend on where the cancer develops. Abnormal bleeding from the nasal or mouth area would be a very obvious one if that is occurring. There was one gentleman I read about, and he had bloody noses for a couple of years, and they evaluated him, biopsied him, nothing was found. It turned out he did have a significant postnasal cancer, and he actually ended up losing his entire nose area. So the earlier you get him, the better off it is. But the other symptoms can occur: a lump in the mouth, a sore in the mouth that just doesn't want to heal. And I've seen a lot of people who have had one, and not that it's been neglected, but the biopsy just didn't show anything, and later on another biopsy showed that it did. Also, in my situation, I had absolutely no symptom at all until I found a lump in my neck. because my cancer had already spread from the area in the tonsil on the left-hand side and had gone to the tongue, which had not bothered me at all. I was still swallowing, talking more totally normally, but it went to a lymph node in the neck. So a lot of people can show up with a lymph node, which means it's already spread outside the original area.
And then how do they treat cancer when they
Okay.
find it?
So first of all, once it's established that you do have it, they usually will do a needle biopsy, especially with the lymph nodes in the neck. It's a very simple thing to have done. I mean, it really caused them no discomfort when I had mine, and they were able to say, yes, you do have a head and neck cancer. Well, then you have to end up having either CT scans or MRI scans of the area and the neck area to see if there's other involvement that we're not picking up. And then usually what the surgeon will do is he'll do a procedure where they will take you to surgery, put you to sleep for a very short period of time where he can really get back in that area, which I don't think any of us want to do if we're awake, and do some biopsies to help him or her evaluate what surgery am I going to have to do. How invasive is this? More invasive than we thought at first. After you have the scans and the evaluation, then you have your surgery. These surgeries can be very simple. We had one girl, she just had it in her tonsil. They were able to take that tonsil out, and that's all she had to have done. But in my situation, since it involved my left tonsil area and the part of the tongue, and also they had to do what's called a lymph node evaluation, where they do a total neck, where they take that part of the side, that side of the neck open and take all the lymph nodes out, because they need to evaluate how much has it spread. And my procedure lasted about 10 hours.
Have you made any changes to your life from this experience?
I take some of the things not as seriously, other than just life itself, my family, my daughters, our son, and our grandchildren. They're more important than anything else.
Do you spend more time with them because
Trying
of that?
to.
That's nice. And Pumpkin and Pearl Bailey.
That's right. That's our two cats. And we have two dogs,
I know, and I always forget about them.
Princess and Pierre.
Ah, Princess.
Yeah, Princess and Pierre are two dogs, and our cat is Pumpkin is a Galco, and Pearl Bailey is just a normal cat.
I know you had mentioned that at 5 years with this particular type of cancer, unlike other cancers, it's considered cured. But do you still have any fear or ambiguity niggling in the back of your mind, or do you kind of pretty much say, you know, I've been there, done that, fought it, I'm ready to roll on out with the rest of my life?
Yes, luckily in the kind of cancer I have, if you do make it to 5 years and all the tests don't show any evidence of it being in your body, you are considered cured. Unfortunately, some other cancers you cannot say that. And so I'm aware of other possible cancers, because just because you had one doesn't mean you won't have another one too. So it's a matter of just being aware and trying to help other people. I find the support group tremendously helpful, and I'm a facilitator for it. There's two of us, and that just means we help run the meeting. And the people are really coming, and most of the people that are there are people that have been there for multiple years. They enjoy coming to it and helping other people.
The support groups have been wonderful in that here you find people who really know what you're going through. They really know what it's like not to want to eat, having trouble eating, having the dry mouth, the different things that happen as a result of the radiation.
Right now it'll be 2 years in April. My doctor said everything's going okay. I've had a chest x-ray, no PET scan, so hopefully we just, keep plugging along. So we enjoyed it very much, and if you get to a support group, if you find that you have cancer, a support group is really, it's really going to help you out.
The support group, these people, they're great.
The support group, most people don't get into the support group for head and neck cancer until after all the treatments. And it's really too bad. Even myself, I think if I would have been able to come to a support group either before I had this surgery and other treatments, I would have done better. I would have understood better the problems that do occur during that time.
And I want to acknowledge to the audience that these really is a remarkable group of people who have faced some pretty hefty challenges and just come out positive and happy and living life. And that's what we're here at Overcome at Healthy Power TV, is showing people and letting them know that there are so many things that could happen in life that are nothing in comparison to something like this that we let get us down. And yet there are some things even way graver than this as well. And that, you know what, inside of each and every one of us is that powerful person who can get through, get on, survive, and overcome.
Right. You know, and you and I talked about this before, and that is because the head and neck cancer occurs in the mouth area, and that is social. You go out with people, and I didn't want to go out for a long time because I couldn't eat very well. I had a lot of trismus. It took me a long time to get my mouth open enough to eat. I didn't have an appetite because food doesn't taste any good when it tastes like cardboard. And it doesn't bother me anymore. I can go out with people, and I don't drink any alcohol, mainly because it still burns my mouth, and I was never a big drinker anyway. But all the social things you think about, especially eating, you go out to people always eat, and it's just tough, and it takes a while. But after so many years, you're back to normal, and people accept you for that.
Thank you again, Dick, for being on the show. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story.
Well, thank you for having me come here. Hopefully, the information we gave them today will help them be able to tolerate or understand head and neck cancer.
I think so.
Thank you.
Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. These words were spoken by Corrie ten Boom, a Dutch Holocaust survivor who helped many Jews escape the Nazis during World War II. I am always so amazed at how people cope with worry, whether it's about a cancer reoccurrence or your child or losing your job. And as Corrie ten Boom so eloquently stated, worrying about anything really doesn't accomplish anything. What it does do is depress you and drain you of energy so you can't face your challenges very well. Like Dick and most of my guests always say, and so do I, it's good to have a positive attitude. Rely on your family and friends. Hey, and don't forget your pets. You know, a lot of research shows a correlation between pets and recovery and wellness. So if you have a dog, take him for a walk. A horse, go for a ride. Cats? Well, that's going to be up to your cat. So until next time, take good care of yourself, eat well, exercise often, keep a positive attitude, count your blessings, and you will gain strength, courage, and confidence to overcome whatever challenge that you face. Next week on Overcome, Gloria Kellenson shares what she learned after years of caring for an ailing spouse and losing him, and how she fights to continue on.